evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tunamen's Ball and Recognition Dinner. I want to thank everybody for coming and supporting the Portuguese Historical Center tonight, and especially to celebrate our honorees. We hope you have a great evening, and I would like to personally thank my nephew Daniel Silva for chairing this event once again, along with his co-chair, Tiffany Bolello. I would also like to thank my board of directors here at the Portuguese Historical Center. I hope you enjoy the night and enjoy this beautiful video.
Hi, my name is Tom Madruga, and I'd like to thank the Portuguese Historical Center for this award. It's quite an honor, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. When I retired in 1990, the year that I got on the board, I decided that I wanted to give back to the community, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to be. My wife and I joined Cabrillo Club. We've been members of the Cabrillo Club and on the board of directors of the Cabrillo Club. We belong to the Portuguese Historical Center. We belong to Santo Amaro. We belong to Azorean Alliance. I got on the board in 1990. I served for 2 consecutive times, 5 years each. Rita Ballatori asked me to help her volunteer to manage the bar. Rita and I managed the bar 25 years together. Little did I know it was going to, be 32 years later. I was still here. So, and like the Festa weekend is a lot of work, and I'll be truthful with you, I'm glad when it's over. But I enjoy it. I enjoy all the people and, seeing everybody. Thank you again and have a good evening.
Hi, I'm Donna Calhoun, and I'm so honored to be awarded the Humanitarian Award from the Portuguese Historical Center. One of the biggest influences I had in my life for that, to get me to where I am today, is my mother, Aldina. Graduated on a Friday, and Monday she was working in her community and hasn't stopped. She's 92, still doing Capella duty. She was the linguista lady for over 50 years and worked in Cabrillo clubs. So for me as an artist, I took a different route than my mother in what I do. And I became a member of the Portuguese Historical Center and then a director. And so in there, I had a very big love of history because my grandfather and my father did. And my grandfather was a pioneer in the bait boat days. And one of the things that he achieved and did beyond fishing, which I thought was incredible, was he brought the first Galapagos turtles and flamingos to the zoo. So those are the interesting things. Part of my upbringing was being very proud of that as a young girl and going to the zoo and seeing the turtles and the flamingos because they were the first ones when it opened that he brought. And my uncle John Brown is still with me today too, and he's 94. And what I found interesting is as he gets older, we hear more and more stories of his past, and one of those stories was bringing those animals to the zoo. That is what's really great about our community, is that no matter where you go or what you do, you hear bits and pieces of us and how far we've gone and what we've done, and that's why it's important what we do here. And so I'm very proud to be part of that. What I found was that's where I immersed myself in my community, and I do displays with the rest of the directors, and so I get to put an artistic touch on that and bring them kind of to life and tell even more interesting, phenomenal stories of people. We had a veterans display, and the stories and going into the homes and seeing the medals of these valiant men that served of the greatest generation was awesome. And my father happened to be one of them. He was in the 82nd Airborne, and he served in Normandy, and he was one of the wave that survived. Festa signs, I've done Festa signs for 17 years, and I started in 2006 with Kelly and Mount Madruga's Festa, and I am now the sign chair, and it's just my touch that I do to make our royalty and our Festa more beautiful. and I found a home there in the garage, and I really enjoy embellishing the signs and making them as beautiful as I can. One of the proudest things and moments that I've done in my philanthropic service is pass this love for my culture and my history onto my children. So both my children did signs with me and were immersed in the PHC. I had one that was a Portuguese dancer. That was really when it came full circle for me and made me the proudest, was when I, in turn, gave it back to my children, because that's how you keep the torch going. And so I encourage everybody who has children and everybody who are young parents to get those cameras out and get those stories out and archive them, because we can't stay out there if people don't know about us. And so that's how you do it. I want to thank the PHC again for honoring me tonight, and I am very, very proud and happy, and I so appreciate it.
Depois no baile, bem juntinhos no escuro, vou levar-te ao céu, eu juro, numa excitante folia. E sempre que dançarmos uma balada, hei de lembrar desta lada que teu pai me deu dia. Vamos, Maria, que a vida é curta demais. Então vamos, Maria, vamos curtir, curtir mais.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacqueline Neves, and I'm so thankful for the Portuguese Historical Center for giving me this award tonight. Being part of this Portuguese community has been a very influential part of my life. I've been a Portuguese American dancer since the age of 5. That makes it about 20 years now I've been a dancer. In 2017, we went on tour to Portugal. It was a really good highlight. I've been volunteering for the Portuguese Hall since before I can remember. I joined the board about 4 years ago, so I have been one of the youngest board of directors here volunteering for the Portuguese Hall. So some of my favorite things to do around the Portuguese community is help out at the Portuguese market and all of our cooking events, because I really enjoy cooking, especially meeting all the people who have been cooking in the kitchen for years now. It's super important to me to see what they do and hopefully take over in the future. In 2021, I was honored to be chosen to be Queen of the Festa do Espírito Santo, which was the first time in 111 years that the nonprofit organization chose an individual to represent as queen, and that was a very big honor to me, as was one of the best moments of my life. I want to thank my parents for giving me such pride in my Portuguese culture. It's been a very big part of my life, and I love it. My hopes for the future of this community is to get more youth involved, and I urge you guys to contact cousins, kids, grandkids, and to get them more involved in the community so that we can keep the Portuguese community super strong here in San Diego for decades to come. Thank you again to the PHC for giving me this award, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
E vi aldeias, fui parando e vi o Zezer, onde nasceu minha mãe e uma infância feliz teve pelos caminhos.
Hi, my name is Joe Deluz. This is my wife Carla Deluz, and we want to thank the PHC this evening for this award. It is a huge honor for us to receive this award. It makes it extra special because both of our families worked in the tuna fishing industry. I appreciate the PHC board and directors and committee for this recognition, honoring our organization, C&J's Cleaning Company. I share this award with so many special people, especially my family members who have supported us through this journey and share the same commitment and dedication that I have for this Portuguese community and heritage. I want to furthermore thank this community for their support and helping us reach this stage in our life where we could proudly hold this award as a mark of our performance. And I also want to congratulate the other nominees and thank them for what they contribute to our community in the tuna industry. Thank you again and enjoy the evening.
E se elas querem um abraço ou um beijinho, nós pimba, nós pimba. E se elas querem muito amor, muito carinho, nós pimba, nós pimba. E se elas querem um encosto à maneira, nós pimba, nós pimba. E se elas
Hi, I'm Jeanette Finette. I want to thank the PHC for honoring my father with the Lifetime Achievement Award. He was born in 1946 in Puldamar to parents Pedro Andrade Finette and Cusacao de Silva Finette. The first fishing boat he worked on was the Bernadette. He worked with several captains over the years as he was coming up. He worked with Cristiano de Rosa, Frank Ferreira, Johnny Luz, Sam Navarra, and my grandfather Manuel Cabos. Under Sam Navarra, Dad worked his way up from the sewing net to speedboat driver to deck boss. When Sam Navarra was getting ready to sell the Kathleen to Cosmo Kutri, Sam recommended my dad to run the boat. My dad's had a very eventful fishing career. At one point, he was held prisoner from Solomon Island pirates. The Jeanette Diana sank and stranded himself and his whole crew for 36 hours in the ocean. He survived a couple tsunamis in Samoa. He was highly active in the participation of the Tuna Boat Association. He lobbied for years to try his best to protect the future of the industry. My dad is a proud Portuguese man and a man of faith, and he takes a lot of honor in giving back to his community. My parents have been married for 52 years. They have 3 beautiful children, Joseph, James, and myself. My sister-in-law, Cookie Garcia, and they have 1 grandchild, Julia Madera. Over the years, my dad has contributed whenever he could to the Portuguese community. For several years, he was the solicitor for the fish fry, encouraging other boat owners to donate boat items for the fish fry. Thank you again for honoring my father with this wonderful award.
Hi, I'm Adeline Madruga, and I was married to Joe Madruga for 65 years. And we had 7 boys. And we lived in the community for many years, Point Loma community. Joe had gone into the service, and we were engaged when he left to go overseas. And he was gone for 2 years. And so when he came home on leave, he had a 30-day leave. We got married in 44, and then he was home for 30 days, and then he left to go to Florida. He had to go there and in the service. And according to a list they had, Joe was one of the first few that were released at that time, and it was according to the year, how many years you were in the service. And then he came back home and then started fishing. He had a fishing boat and started fishing. And Paramount was a brand new boat that he went on as a captain. Yeah, they donated when we had the festas for the Portuguese. He used to donate a lot of things for that they would auction off and make money on, and that's what he did, a lot of that. And he would help.
Hi, I'm Matt Madruga, and Joseph Madruga was my father. And my father had several boats. He was a boat owner, boat captain. He discovered several banks when fishing. That was one of his passions, was to, search out and just try to explore all the time. Cadillac Bank and Paramount Bank were 2 of the banks that he discovered. And it was just one of his things that he was always very proud of the Portuguese community. He was extremely, involved for many years with, like I say, giving and doing all kinds of things for the community. But he loved to go down for the festas and all the different events. and support as much as he could. One of the memories that I have of my father is going down and having sardines at the festa with him and just laughing. My dad's laugh was infectious, and he was very friendly to everybody down there. He loved the community and loved to be involved, and just he was proud to be Portuguese. And so our family and myself personally want to thank the PHC for honoring my father and for this tremendous night that we're having. Hopefully everybody will enjoy themselves and have a good time. Thank you so much.
Ponhas água fresca numa jarra dentro do teu quarto e junto à cama, e se sentires só teu coração, recorda-te, amor, que alguém te chama.
Hi, I'm Augusto Rodriguez. I want to thank PHC for this award tonight. I was a fisherman for 50 years. We would fish in the Pacific Ocean, cross the canal, and go offload in Puerto Rico.
My name is Zeka Rodriguez. I'm Augie Rodriguez's sister. Several reasons why he was recommended for this award. And one was that he was actually the inventor of the brailing system. In the old days, they had a system that was very dangerous, lots of accidents, and also it limited the capacity that you could lift. That brailing system is now used in many of the purse-seiners. The second, and probably least known, the fact that he started using what's called the snap rings. And so by changing it to snap rings, it made it more efficient, more better timing, so they didn't have the fish in the net so long. Again, the other way was very dangerous. I'm very proud of my brother because he came from Portugal. He was around 19 years old and went to Panama on his own, and basically then started to fish and really get to know everything about fishing. As he became a deck boss, he started to see things, how you can better things in the whole fishing operation and make it safer. So I'm very, very proud of that. And then, you know, just his record speaks for itself. You know, he's been an incredible all those years. And we were talking recently, and I asked him what was the shortest trip that he had ever made. And he said it was a 300-hour trip. And it's just amazing. And then, you know, he was top captain for many, many years. And he was with Mr. Gann, at the time, one of the most prominent fish owners at the time. And he worked for them for over 40 years.
Thank you again for this award, and enjoy the night.
And we came to the United States. And there's the Secretary of State recalled the founding fathers toasted with Madeira wine. You know why? Because the British used, the English at that time, used to toast with Oporto wine. So, in any case, it was Portuguese, but it was not Oporto, it was Madeira wine. And we must remember that being our oldest ally, England, we were the first country in the world to recognize the United States of America's independence. Portugal, and the first one to send an ambassador to Washington. It was Portugal. But in your case, you came from far away to this coast. Of course, some of you to the eastern coast, but here to the western coast. As great fish as you were, now you are everywhere in economic, social, cultural activity here. Our community is very powerful, and it started with this community here. In California, it was the first one. We're just celebrating now the first century of the chapel. Over 115 years. A community that is alive and young and powerful. It's a pride for us. It's a reason for gratitude. We owe you so much of history, of tradition, but also of present and future. Thank you for your past, thank you for your present, thank you for your future. Vivam os Estados Unidos da América, viva o nosso querido Portugal!